There are millions of ordinary Americans who've been let down, who've had a bad time, who feel the political class in Washington are detached from them. You have a fantastic opportunity here with this campaign. You can go out. You can beat the pollsters. You can beat the commentators. You can beat Washington. And remember, anything is possible if enough decent people are prepared to stand up against the establishment.
Nigel Farage, one of the leaders who helped push the June Brexit vote at Donald Trump's rally last night. Trump has said that we'll be calling him Mr. Brexit after November. Is he right? Still with us. Author of In Trump We Trust, E Pluribus Awesome, and Coulter. All right, so right now, if you look at the number of Republicans, percentage of Republicans that polling-wise are voting for Trump, it's about 75%. He needs 90%. He gets 90%, gets 14, 15% of the black vote, you know, and a higher percentage of the Hispanic vote. He'll be president. But you have all these former candidates for the presidency that made pledges. Then you've got Paul Ryan, and then you've got a bunch of wonks over at the Wall Street Journal, National Review, that I think you're right. They want the cheap labor for their you know, big corporate buddies, are doing everything they can do to sabotage him. They're not thinking about the Supreme Court. They're not thinking about vetting refugees, immigration. They're not thinking about getting rid of Obamacare or energy independence.
It's utterly selfish. And as I was saying, I mean, their motto is, I only regret that I have but one country to give for my TV gig. They don't care about the country. I kind of thought it might be over when Romney lost. He had the best position on immigration of any president until the dawn of Trump. But I thought there was a 10% chance we could save the country. I wrote Adios America, and God bless Donald Trump. He read it. Now we are at the tipping point. It's much farther along. I mean, Democrats must be thinking, we thought it was going to take 20 years to completely take over the country. The way Obama is flying in Central Americans and bringing in Muslim refugees, we can get this done, you know, in Hillary's first term. Both Hillary Clinton and Tim Kaine say that they will amnesty the roughly 30 to 50, 60 million illegal aliens. Presidential elections are decided by a few million votes. If she does that, if she quadruples, more than quadruples, the number of Muslim refugees, it's over. Republicans never win another presidential election. We have 9 Ruth Bader Ginsburgs on the Supreme Court. We are done with the essay portion of this election. It is down to the multiple choice. It is Donald Trump or Hillary Clinton. And if it's Hillary Clinton, what you do, what I do, what Fox News does will be irrelevant, because there won't be a fight anymore. There absolutely won't be a fight. It's utterly selfish. And I think in the end, I mean, I still believe, as I think I was saying on radio, I'm not going to be a nut and say I don't believe the polls, but I do think the polls are going to change. I still think Donald Trump is more likely to win than not. I think people will get serious and realize this is it. This is it for the country.
But I think it's worse than that. If Hillary wins, I am blaming them directly for their sabotage. They own her Supreme Court choices. They own whatever the refugees do to Americans. They own the fact that Americans won't get back to work.
No, I don't know what their vision is, apart from my point that it's completely over. Republicans can have no fighting chance anymore. The whole country is California. Let's just say that weren't true. Let's say it were 20 years ago. Do they think that, you know, the people who voted for Trump are going to come back to the Never-Trumpers as our conquering heroes? No, they will have destroyed any chance the Republicans have. That won't really matter anyway. But, you know, as for this idea that even if Trump believed, and look, I think he made a mistake in the things he said to you. He was using the catchphrases. Oh, and I have a glossary in here for all the euphemisms for supporting amnesty. Claiming they'll pay back taxes is one of them. No citizenship is another one. These are all the Marco Rubio cliches used to push the Gang of 8 bill. And even, look, I don't think that's true. I think it's stupid, because all Trump is doing is demoralizing his base. The people who hate him still hate him, but now they can call him a flip-flopper. Way to go, whoever told Trump to say that. But the whole, I mean, not only through this campaign where he's been consistent over and over again of putting Americans first, the one thing, he isn't a politician, he does get some things wrong. The one thing that has been totally consistent in his life that I describe in this book is that he has always been super patriotic, has always put Americans first, has always cared about working class Americans. And if you are putting Americans first, you are not going to want to keep even the most law-abiding illegal alien, because as I point out again in this book, one illegal alien, the most wonderful law-abiding, been here 15, 20 years, with one child in school. That's an average of $12,000 a year. The only taxes they pay are sales taxes. The highest sales tax in the country is about 9%. An illegal alien would have to spend more than $100,000 a year in taxable, or not sell, buy more than $100,000 a year in taxable goods just to break even on the cost of educating a child, and that's assuming no food stamps, no free school lunches, no English as a second language classes. This is burdening America. We're a generous people, but it's enough already.
Then why are so many Republicans sabotaging him, Ann? Because look, I spell it out. Why?
It's a couple of things. One is people are always bitter at the people who beat them, as I pointed out. As people dropped out,
the same people that forced John McCain and Bob Dole down your throat.
No, I know, and I, reluctantly supported Mr. Amnesty John McCain with my, I think, very helpful website, getdrunkandvoteformccain.com. But I came around. I supported Palin. I supported, the senators and the congressmen.
Getdrunkandvoteforjohnmccain.com.
Let's say you can't support Trump. How about we'll take care of the turkey, you do the side dishes and the dessert. You take care of the Senate races and the congressional races. No, they want to viciously, hysterically attack Trump, and part of it is just sour grapes. This is the guy who whops them. But also, the rewards in the media are there for anyone who wants to attack Trump. I mean, people I have never heard of, never seen on TV before, and do not exactly have, square-jawed good looks like, Rick Wilson, that let's get this guy on TV. Suddenly, they had to fire Melissa Harris Perry to get Rick Wilson his own cot in his own spot every single show on MSNBC. I mean, suddenly you are being quoted all over. You become a star in today's media culture because all of the elites want to stop Trump. This is up to the people, and it's up to Trump.
All right. Ann Coulter, AnnCoulter.com for your book signings and book tour.
Yes, book signing this Sunday in New York.
Well, you didn't even invite me. Thanks a lot.
You're invited.
Finally. All right. I have to beg for my invitation.